I guess I could go into Black Mass now. This is now the second week in a row where it's Brad spoils a great movie for the other person in the car with him.
Oh no. It's okay. I've seen the news.
Yeah. This movie was... Black Mass was awesome. This movie is totally my cup of tea, though. It makes up for that boring-ass Most Violent Year movie from last year. Did you ever see that?
I have not. I saw a trailer for it last weekend on a movie that I rented.
You ever see a movie where you're like, man, this movie it's really well acted. It's really well made. Boring as fuck. That was Most Violent Year for me.
Because the trailer made it seem interesting, but I couldn't tell if it was just that they chose the right bits to put in a trailer.
They did.
It's like watching the trailer, I'm like, this reminds me of like American Hustle and like
so not
and like The Yards. Remember that one?
Yeah, it's The Yards if nothing happens. This movie though, oh no, this movie has like Johnny Depp strangling hookers. It's amazing. Like, oh my god, I'm so glad good Johnny Depp is back. At least for the time being, until we get Pirates 5 coming out next year, I guess. But
I'm still holding my breath for Mordecai 2.
I still need to see that.
I hear nothing but amazingly bad things.
I know. I should see it. I was at MagFest when it came out, so I missed it when that came out.
Ah, shucks.
I know. We missed that and The Boy Next Door. Don't worry, we saw Perfect Guy. Same thing.
Right, I forgot if that was the name of that one.
No, like, this movie is just, it's Johnny Depp staring into your soul for 2 hours with those fucking eyes, those dead fucking eyes, and that, like, dead brown fucking tooth he's got in his mouth. Fuck, man!
That sweet sort of comb over.
Yeah!
Those inappropriately low, like, grandpa V-necks.
Yeah! Fuck! The sweet necklaces, leather jacket, Boston as fuck. Damn, this movie is so good, man. Like, I love this kind of movie, though. I love movies like this, fucking Kill the Irishman, fucking, The Iceman with Michael Shannon. I love movies like this because they make you root for the worst people.
It's like, I know this guy was a real hitman and he killed like dozens of people, but I gotta say, I'm hoping he pulls his next job off.
I'm kind of rooting for this guy. He's running a business, you know? When you start up a business, you don't want rats in your business. You gotta get rid of the rats. I get it. Look, this movie spoke to me, all right?
It's like a fucking Pain and Gain. It's like Daniel Lugo is a real man. He killed people. He's in prison right now. But
in the movie, he's hilarious.
It's like, you get it, man. You run from those fucking cops.
I have a feeling this movie feels the same way, because when most of the crew is getting captured, it's playing sad music. The cast in this movie is fucking great. You got fucking Cumberbatch playing a Boston guy. That's kind of great. He plays Bulger's brother. He's like a senator in this movie. Adam Scott is in this with like 60s Paul McCartney hair, but 70s Paul McCartney mustache. It's fantastic.
I'm never sure how to take Adam Scott when I see him and stuff, because like either it's gonna be really goofy or he's actually gonna like deliver like a really like strong, vaguely menacing performance.
In this, it's a character that could have been played by anybody. Like, he's just kind of one of the FBI.
It just happened to be him.
Yeah, I'm glad it was him. That's cool. You know, it could have been played by anybody. It just happens to be Adam Scott. I mean, he's good. I mean, he makes what he can of the role. He's perfectly fine in the movie. Kevin Bacon is like the head of the FBI. So the main kind of plot here is that, like, okay, like at the beginning of the movie, he's already established he's running this Winter Hill gang. And then he makes an alliance with an FBI guy who's another guy from the neighborhood. And it's FBI agent Joel Edgerton.
Don't trust Do not trust that man.
So Joel Edgerton is like in this alliance with Whitey Bulger in this, where they come to an agreement where he'll keep Bulger kind of out of...
Don't do too much crazy shit and we'll keep the guys out of your way.
Well, like, yeah, basically, like, he's using Whitey so that, like, Edgerton himself can kind of get a taste of some money. It can raise him up in the ranks of the FBI, and Bulger is using him to basically inform on the rival gang, the Italians in the movie. So they're kind of using each other in this regard, but it's this old pact that they've made, so they're aware of what they're doing. That's kind of the main plot of the movie. And in between all of that is just so much murder. It's, my God, you just shit your fucking pants in this movie. There's some, like, he'll say something that's hilarious one minute, and then it just gets scary. There's a part in the movie where he's with one of his guys, and they're in the car, and he's, like, giving the dude shit. He's like, I just can't fucking... Not only are you just banging a fucking hooker, but it's your fucking daughter. And then the guy's like, it's Jimmy, it's my stepdaughter. And he's like, don't you fucking correct me. So now... I gotta clean up your fucking mess. And so the hooker comes out of the fucking police station, and Whitey's like, I bought you some nice shoes, we're gonna take you somewhere safe. Takes her to a house, strangles her in front of the guy. Now you fucking clean this shit up. There's a part...
I like that sort of like fucking Peter Stormare in Fargo.
Yeah.
Whenever they're dealing with that cop that pulls him over. It's like he's trying to explain it for like 10 fucking minutes, and finally Peter Stormare's like, you know what? BAM! Clean that shit up. And then just gets out of the car.
There's a scene in this movie where he's having dinner with Edgerton and one of the other FBI guys in it, who's kind of in on this shit too, is the guy from Walk Among the Tombstones. And there are so many intimidating people in this that guy is like the cowardly one in the movie.
Jesus.
So there's a part where Bulger's talking to him. They're at this dinner table. Everything's fine. And like, Whitey's like, he's sitting there like, I want you to answer me one fucking thing. What in the fuck did you do to make this steak so delicious? It's hilarious. And then the guy's like, oh, yeah, I can't tell you, Jimmy. It's the family secret. I mean, you know. It's like, oh, come on, you fucking tell me. And then the guy's like, all right, it's a little bit of garlic and some soy. And he's like, wow. You gave that up really fucking quick. What else if you're gonna give up steak that easily? What the fuck else are you gonna give up?
I think I saw that one of the trailers. Like, that was like the whole trailer was just like that bit there. He's like,
shit!
He's like, fuck. It's like, it's just like, no. That was your family secret. You just gave it up.
That's the scene in like the main trailer where he's sitting at the table and just pounds his fist and just starts laughing maniacally.
I'll kill you though.
And so then, like, Edgerton's wife doesn't like Whitey for some reason. And so she's hanging out upstairs reading The Exorcist. That's a better choice than hanging out with Whitey. So
I'd rather be scared shitless than spend one more moment down there being scared shitless.
Oh no, she still gets scared shitless because he goes upstairs. Edgerton is like, she's not feeling very good, Jimmy, you know. He's like, oh man, you know, I know about these things. I'll go up there and take care of it. And it's this creepy, like not quite Willem Dafoe and Laura Dern from Wild at Heart, but close. Like, he goes up there and he's like, let me feel, I'm an expert on this. I lost my son because of something like this. And he's like, feeling her head and her face and has his hand on her throat. And he's like, you're gonna want to take care of this, you know. We don't want you to get worse off than you already are. Fuck my ass! Shit's intense, and he was just checking to see if she had the fever.
I can see where you would compare that to Wild at Heart, though.
Like, if it wasn't like, because...
Not piss on your head.
Yeah, yeah. I want you to tell me to fuck me. Like, it doesn't get that far. It doesn't get quite that far, but fuck, I was shitting my
because
pants.
the scene changed before you saw that happen.
For sure. Fuck it. That's why I gotta root for this guy.
That's the extended cut.
Yeah. I feel like if I didn't root for this guy, he would jump through the screen and murder me. The movie, honestly, it probably could have benefited from being about a half hour longer, because it's 2 hours exactly. And if there's any kind of extended cut of this on DVD, I would like to see that, because there are a couple elements of the story that, like, I'm positive have an explanation, but in the movie, there are a couple of times when I did kind of wonder to myself why certain people weren't immediately knocked off. Like, because there's a couple people here that obviously are standing in the way from him getting caught. And it did kind of make me wonder a few times, like, just like one snap of the finger, you wipe out Corey Stoll. he's like the new, like, prosecutor at one point, who's like in the trailer where he's like, why hasn't Whitey been caught? And Edgerton's like, oh, what's he done?
It's like,
everything.
Are you shitting me right now?
What hasn't he done?
I'd pull out the file, but I fucking threw my back out putting it away yesterday.
Fucking pretty much. And his wife kind of just disappears from the movie, which is a little scary, but...
I've seen that, though, before in other movies where it's kind of like based on actual happenings.
Mm-hmm.
Because at a point, it's like, there's only so much of it that you can actually delve into. It's
totally,
like,
especially...
Like you could round out all of those scenes, but eventually you're going to be like, we're done. Clocking in at the 5-hour mark.
Yeah.
It's like, we round all that up. Or we could just like, you know what? Nothing else interesting happens with that character, so let's just never see him again.
Dakota Johnson plays his wife. And she is really good in this, but it's kind of an issue that I had with, like, Jennifer Lawrence in American Hustle, where this character is obviously written to be about 20 years older than the person playing this character.
Yeah.
But she is good in it. She is really good. And after their son dies, she's pretty much disappeared from the movie, and maybe it was kind of explained, but... I was actually thinking about that when we were watching Scorch Trials, because my mind was honestly still with Black Mass for a lot of this. I was like, oh, Dakota Johnson just kind of disappeared from that movie. I remember when Whitey was caught, and it wasn't that fucking long ago, but like, I remember watching it on the news when that happened, and I remember thinking, kind of like I'm thinking in this movie too, like, you know what, when you're 85 years old... And I'm not about to say, like, oh, just let him go. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, if I was an 85-year-old man like this, and I had evaded capture for that long, and I get caught at 85 years old, I would probably just be like, okay, you got me.
Yeah, at that point, like... At that point, don't even bother with a fucking trial. Like, you're 85. Like, what the fuck else is gonna happen to you?
Like, you get, like, if I'm 85 years old, I get 2 life sentences. I'm like, yeah, okay, I got a 5-year sentence. No, I get...
Like, I'm a year away from being on dialysis. Go fuck yourselves.
Like, yeah, I...
This would have meant something if you would have caught me 40 years ago.
That dude was on the run since, what, the mid-'80s? Something like that? Yeah, they caught him in 2011. Just like fucking like anonymous tip. They caught him in like Santa Monica or some shit. Whatever. He got me. I'm 85. Bring me in, boys.
You got me. Go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
Because yeah, like it's one of those things. Like you're just the dog and pony show here is just so you can finally say like, case closed.
Which I'm understandable. The guy was practically a fucking serial killer. Like, Jesus Christ. Like, this fucking... There's a scene in this movie where, man, this is... Wow. Yeah. There's... Peter Sarsgaard is in this. And I'm watching Sarsgaard in this movie, and, like, I started, like... The way that he kind of looks in the movie, he's kind of gaunt in the film. He looks actually not unlike, like, 80s Michael Biehn. So, this instantly started making me hate Terminator Genesis even more. You had Sarsgaard right there, who honestly would be a really fucking good choice to play Kyle Reese. Way better than Jai Courtney's ass in there doing Jack McClane again.
Yeah.
I started getting really mad at Terminator Genesis again. Like, you didn't even care about proper casting in that movie. So Sarsgaard is in this as just this kind of like pussy dude in the movie, and at one point he's gonna turn on Jimmy. It's the scene you see in the trailer where in broad daylight in a fucking parking lot with people standing right inside, he's just machine gun, just shoots the car down. This isn't what gets him caught, by the way. You could just fucking do that back then. There's no cameras around anywhere. I need this guy taken out. I'm gonna take this machine gun and shoot at his car at 2 in the afternoon.
Sorry to interrupt your Sunday. Carry on.
Just walks away. Shooting it at the machine gun isn't even what killed the guy. Like, it put a couple of bullets in him. He just still has to walk up to him, get the handgun out, pop him 10 more times in the chest, just to make sure.
His fucking soul still dancing.
Yeah, exactly. Between that, the guy that he strangles with rope later on, and then tells the dude, bury him next to the fucking whore.
A phrase you don't often expect to say in your life.
Oh, man. I've played a few characters who probably said that in their life.
Steel definitely has said that at some point.
Yeah. Yes. But this movie fucking rocked, man. Like, I totally fucking recommend this shit. I love seeing Johnny Depp back in something like this that he's probably gonna get an Oscar nomination for. Like, just... Oh, God, you just want to stare into those cold eyes for 2 fucking hours. Jesus, man, this movie rocked. There was a lot of nervous laughter in the audience.
It's like, I don't know if I should applaud. That joke was funny. Like, oh, nope. Not a funny joke anymore.
Oh, Jesus. There was one shot from the trailer that I'm disappointed wasn't in the movie. The scene is, but the shot wasn't. When Edgerton lets... Because Sarsgaard goes to Edgerton and tries spilling the beans on Whitey, and then Edgerton ends up telling Whitey, like, during a parade. And, so, that scene, he tells him that, and then Whitey kind of laughs, and then the scene ends. But in the trailer, that's the part in the trailer where he just suddenly starts clapping, like, in Edgerton's face. I'm disappointed that was cut out of the movie.
That was a good scene in the trailer.
Yeah. That would have been cool, man. He tells him that, and then all of a sudden just... I'm sad that was cut out. Are you gonna end up checking it out at some point?
I probably will.
It's worth it. It's totally worth it.
Well, I don't know. I think I'm heading down to see my folks again this weekend. So that might be a thing to take my mom over to.
Yeah. Or if you don't, like on like the half price Tuesday. I mean, I'd recommend a full price for this movie.
Yeah, now that I know there's a half price Tuesday.
Yeah, and fucking go see anything. Jesus.
I was on the fence about this one. Fucking all right, $5. $5 ain't nothing. This is $5.25.
No, it's if you're sold on the trailer, you're gonna dig this movie. If you like this kind of movie, you will totally dig this movie, and I love this kind of movie. I absolutely love this kind of movie. Those 70s and 80s fucking monster-ass gangster movies like this. I fucking love this shit. Like, there's a great fucking part where, like, they catch the Italian gang and Don't Bring Me Down by the Animals starts playing. This movie's totally my speed. Now I gotta go see Scorch Trials. Huck! The movie had already started. I couldn't sit down and just, oh, by the way, this movie's really good, man. He fucking, like, strangles a hooker and some shit. One guy, like, fucking disses him in his bar, and he, like, takes him out and shoots him in the head.
It's like, oh, man. Yeah, I know. In this one here, they'll probably just meander around in the fucking nowhere desert for a while. I don't know. Shh. I don't want to miss anything about the scorch.
You're talking during the scorch. Fuck is next week. I'm gonna be in Detroit next week, so I know what one of the movies is, because I think when Violet and I were talking the other day, like we were talking about, like, we're gonna see the movies that come out next Thursday, and she's like, yeah, I'm down for anything. She goes, like, I just don't really like gory movies all that much, so I'm like, all right, let me see what's coming out. Take one wild guess.
Is it The Green Inferno?
The Green Inferno comes out. I started laughing my ass off. I'm like, oh, Green Inferno's coming out. She's like, what's that? I'm like, oh, it's
Cannibal Holocaust 2.
Yeah. And she's like, oh, I won't be seeing that. So I think I'll be at that, and, like, she'll be at, like, The Intern or something. We're old school. We go to separate movies.
That was your movie. That's cool.
How was your movie?
Really? The Intern's that bad?
Surprisingly gross. The sex scene with De Niro and Anne Hathaway is not as sexy as they intended it to be.
You.
So, yeah, like, I shouldn't have said anything. I should have been like, I don't know, Green Inferno is probably just some nature documentary thing.
I hear it's about birds or something.
It's probably about birds. Like, it's a sequel to that movie with, like, Owen Wilson and Steve Martin and Jack Black. Bird watching.
Wow. Forgot about that one.
Oh, No Love for Big Year?
No.
I never saw that movie. That came out before we were doing this shit year round.
The fucking, the poster in there, it's honestly really hard, like, if... It doesn't look like a good thing is happening to that woman, but depending on how you look at it, it doesn't exactly look like she's that put out by it. Like, if someone, like, if I walked by there, it was like, The Green Inferno, what's that about? And saw that poster on there, and somebody said something like, oh, it's about, like, people getting really high at, like, Burning Man. Like, oh. Alright, that's exactly what I see in that picture. It's just a bunch of...
movie about Woodstock 92.
like, that could have been a photo from fucking Burning Man, and I wouldn't know the difference.
It's all just part of their culture.
Now burn the effigy. Why are you all singing? That was weird.
It's Burning Man. Fuck yeah! So I'll be at Green Inferno next week. Violet will probably be at The Intern. I think we're gonna try to see Captive at some point. Maybe Everest. That also comes out.
Jesus.
Yeah. So thank God, there's at least one Jesus-y movie in there. Whew, I'm not even high. I'm just really nervous talking about Whitey Bulger. I'm like, I look like Sarsgaard in this movie. Ooh, oh, don't worry, I didn't knock on you, Whitey.
I mean, I thought about it.
Alright, I'll see you next week.
I won't.